Hi, this is James Wilson with MTB Strength Training Systems and BikeJames.com, and today I'm going to go over a relatively obscure kettlebell exercise, not quite as well known as some of the other ones like the Turkish get-up and the swing. This one is the arm bar, and this one actually kind of falls into the Turkish get-up progression, and this one is really great for working on some foundational core strength and also working on our shoulder mobility and stability at the same time. And, this is really important for us as mountain bikers. Core strength goes without saying. The stronger your core is, the less likely you are to, incur lower back injuries, the stronger a platform you have for you to, pedal from and display strength and power from. But the shoulders are one of those areas that, kind of get overlooked, but they're really susceptible to injury as mountain bikers. And the reason for that is because the biking position, besides the fact that most of us work a desk job and we just tend to be like this all the time anyways, then we can engage in a sport where we're like this a lot of the time. And so our shoulders tend to really get that forward, rounded shoulder position, and that's a really bad position for our shoulders to be in. And so when you crash, you're way more likely to incur a shoulder injury, and when those shoulder injuries do happen, it's going to take longer for you to recover from those shoulder injuries. So that's why this exercise is so important for you to work on and get strong on, because it's really going to help injury-proof your shoulders and also just work on some good core strength. So show you the exercise. It's pretty simple. And I'll go over a couple things that you want to watch that people tend to do wrong. I've noticed in my facility. This is the exercise here. You lay down on the ground, get your leg kind of out to the side, heel drawn in towards the butt. Take the kettlebell, push it up. You're going to press it up. Remember, anytime you're doing any sort of floor press type thing, you want to think about driving yourself down into the ground rather than pressing the kettlebell up. And that'll keep your shoulder packed in. So make sure that as you press up, you're not letting that shoulder, come up off of the ground. Keep it packed in nice and tight. Shoulder blades pinch back and down, and then drive yourself down into the ground as you press this up. You're going to take the other arm and put it over your head, and this is the move right here. You're going to drive your heel into the ground, squeeze your butt cheek, roll yourself over, and then nice and steady, you're going to hold this position, bring your leg over, and then try and get your hips flat on the ground, and then nice and steady, bring yourself back to the start position. So that's basically it. I'll show you one more time. Drive the heel into the ground, roll it over, hold this position, throw your leg over, bring yourself back nice and steady, and repeat. So pretty basic exercise there. I'll show you a couple things that people tend to do wrong and how you can fix them. The first thing is people don't use their hip to create the roll. And so what I see happening is they get up on their toe and they let their knee collapse, and they're trying to figure out how to use their quad to extend the knee in order to roll themselves over. So they end up in something that looks like this, rather than really driving the heel into the ground and using the glute and hamstring and getting up and ending up in a position like this. And so when you're in this position here, you should feel your glute and your hamstring flex in order to get yourself to this position here. So make sure you're using the hip to initiate the roll. The other thing that I see people doing wrong is that when they start to roll, they'll kind of roll the hip and leave their shoulder behind and then try to follow with the shoulder. That is losing the core strength that we're looking for. You want to lock your rib cage down to your pelvis and keep it locked down. So as soon as your hip starts rolling, your shoulder comes up with it. So that's what we want it to look like, not some sort of two-stage maneuver like that. So get the hips rolling, the shoulders are coming with it. And then the other thing that I see going on here is when they throw the leg over, they use a quick leg throw. You want to be very deliberate with bringing the leg over and force your core to stabilize. And when you're coming back, again, same thing, be nice and deliberate as you bring yourself back, forcing the core to stabilize. Speed is just going to cover up core weakness. So it doesn't have to be absurdly slow, but it needs to be deliberate. It shouldn't be a quick leg throw over. So basically, as far as the hips and the core go, make sure you've got the core locked down tight, you're driving with the hip, the shoulder is coming up with the hip, and that you're being very deliberate with your leg throw, and everything will be good there. Now, as far as the shoulder goes, what you want to watch is that you keep your shoulder packed in. So as you start to roll,
don't let that shoulder hunch up towards your ear. Keep your shoulder down away from your ear. Keep it pushed down away from your ear. You should even think about trying to pinch your shoulder blades together. And keep those shoulder blades pinched together while you're executing this maneuver. But basically, as a general rule of thumb, you never want your shoulder and your ear coming close to each other. Bad things are going to happen when it does that. And then lastly, keep your thumb facing your head. And what you're going to find is, especially if you've got bad forward shoulder posture, you're going to be really strong and dominant with your chest and shoulders. So you're going to try to figure out, how do I secure this move with my chest and shoulders? And so you're going to find yourself rotating your hand so that you can use that chest and shoulder. So we don't want it to look like this with the thumb facing out away from you. You want the thumb facing the head. And that's going to force your body to have to use all of the muscles around the shoulder joint to stabilize the shoulder, which is what we're looking for. So again, a very simple move, but there are some things that you can do wrong with it and miss out on some key elements. Using the hip, locking the core down, keeping the shoulder packed in, keeping the hand opened up so that you're forcing the muscles in the back to secure the shoulder as well, instead of internally rotating and just letting the chest and shoulders do it. But that's basically it. I love this move. I probably do this move, 2-3 times a week, a couple sets of 5 reps. Work on getting strong on this. You grab a heavy kettlebell or dumbbell and you try this move, and you're going to find out real quickly where your core strength and shoulder stability really is. And so again, you work on this, you get strong, you're going to see your mobility increase, you're going to see your core strength increase, you're going to see your shoulder stability increase, and you're just going to find a lot of things with your riding getting better as well. But most importantly, it's going to help injury-proof your shoulders, which is extremely important, because if your shoulders are jacked up, you can't ride. If you can't ride, you can't have fun. If you can't have fun, well, what's the point in getting up in the morning? So that's basically it. Armbar, great exercise, very simple, but very powerful one for us. So once again, it's been James Wilson with MTB Strength Training Systems. Check me out on the web at bikejames.com. That's my blog. You can find this video here as well as a bunch of other great videos and blog posts and routines and stuff like that. If you got any questions on this, post it on my blog. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video.